Hello everybody, welcome to SRL. We're here for the APAC tier in Silverstone for round 8 for the British Grand Prix. My name is AR Charlie. Joining me in the comment box today is V-Fens.
Oh, hello everyone.
So, just looking at the championship standings, this is the first time I'm actually commentating in this tier. We've got New Zealand Ryan leading the field as Zombie Hunter's retired. I think he might have a qualifying ban, I'm not too sure. But yeah, like I said, New Zealand Ryan is leading the field with, let me just quickly check, 138 points to his name. Timo Marduk is in second place with 130, only 8 points behind him, and Warden even closer on 127 points, 11 behind New Zealand Ryan, 3 points off Ben. So, do you have any idea who will be on pole today, Fens?
No idea. I haven't seen these guys league race around Britain since I think as late as TOR Britain, which was like months ago. Though it is interesting to note about SRLs, it's probably the closest like championship fight out of like any of the Asia Pacific leagues between the three of them. So it's very interesting, and any mistakes from any of these drivers will basically push them way down the field.
Yep, that is true. So we've got 17 drivers here in Silverstone, and you can see it's lovely and sunny, which is quite unusual for British weather, as we're on board with Roscoe Arm just coming through the Luffield corner. So we have two drivers also going for a different strategy. We have Penske on the soft compound tyres, as well as Conrod straight. So they might be trying to do something a little bit different, but I do believe that it is the one-stop strategy from the super softs to the soft compound tyres, if I'm right, Fens?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
So
I think they'll be wanting to pit around lap 8. I think 8
okay,
or 9
so,
from memory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think tyre wear is that significant round Silverstone, but I mean, it depends how hard you really want to push on your tyres. Now, we're going to go on board with a lap of, let's go on board with a lap of Owens in the Haas. So he is starting his lap coming into Abbey, the first corner at Silverstone, taking it flat out in these 2017 cars, and it should be a lot easier in the 2018 cars when 2018 comes out. Braking just after the 100-meter board into the arena section, turn 4, out of it all loses back in a little bit into turn 5 down. Now this is the first DRS straight, opening the DRS, flying towards Brooklands now in 8th gear, going nearly 200 miles an hour before braking just before the 50-meter marker into turn 7 now of Luffield, staying as tight as you can to that corner, because it can gain you time and also lose you time if you don't not get a perfect run through there. Now coming onto the national pit straight, all your eyes onto Cops now, the full-out flat corner, which is quite difficult if you don't get it right, especially the first or second lap, because you have got heavy fuel and it is quite difficult to keep your car straight. Now coming through the iconic Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel section, looking pretty good so far from Owens as he opens up the DRS for his second time on the Hanger straight. Now coming towards Stowe into sector 3, now taking it in 5th gear, staying tight there as well, clipping the curb on the exit. Now coming into Vale for turn 16, into this corner now, 3rd gear into Club for the penultimate corner. Now through the final corner for the Haas driver, he will be the first driver to set a lap time. What lap time is that? It is a 28.190. He is on provisional pole. Now we're going to see some drivers improve. Yes, Ho in the Red Bull goes first now with a 27.6. Timo Marduk goes P2 actually with a 27.5 as Dominator destroys that lap time with a 127.1. On board with the current leader of this championship, New Zealand Ryan, as he comes through Vale and into Club. Now Warden goes P4 with a 27.7 as New Zealand Ryan comes to the final corner now, losing the back end a little bit through there, but not going to really harm him that much, 27.5, so quite close between himself and Tim Marduk. What else do you see, Fens?
Something interesting to note, which we haven't seen of course all season, is Dominator, who is currently way ahead of the rest of the pack. Now, we don't really get to see Dominator race much, but when he does race, we usually do find that he is quick, typically usually the quickest driver, though he has, from what I've experienced lately, he's sometimes gone for the alternate strategy, which usually hasn't paid off. So it'll be interesting to see if he can maybe make sure that he gets the strategy right today, and I reckon he'll be in a good shout for the victory.
Yep, we still got Timo Marduk in the Ferrari, still going for a lap here as he comes through the hangar state straight, so he into Stowe, taking it in 5th gear before shifting it up into 6th as he actually comes into the pits because he hasn't got enough fuel on board to carry on. Dominator looks like he's coming into the pits as well. Is there anyone else going for a lap? I think, yeah, going down the order, we still got 4 drivers who haven't set a lap time. That includes Zombie Hunter, I think, who has a qualifying ban. I'm not too certain as Neon comes through Stowe now as he's actually carrying on, so it looks like he's actually going for this flying lap coming through club now, the penultimate corner, sorry, into the final corner now, turn 18 across the line for the Red Bull driver, and he puts himself P7 with a 28.1. So very good lap time from him as there's 2 cars coming side by side into the pit lane there. That's the Williams of, who is that? I think that's the Williams of
Penske, maybe?
No, I can't.
Yeah, Penske.
Yeah, that is Penske, yeah. So that was a little bit odd to see there.
I just watched them go into the pits, that was pretty funny. They basically, so I think, yeah, the Haas driver just went really slow into the pits while Penske just went full throttle into the pits. I'm actually surprised they didn't like get sort of a collision or a grid penalty there. Like, it looks like they did touch.
It was quite weird. But I think it does ghost when you go into the pit lane if you're going side by side, but it is quite uncommon for drivers to go side by side into the pit lane. But anyway, 5 minutes and 20 seconds is now left in this qualifying session. We're not sure if it's going to be raining for the actual Grand Prix. I believe that it won't be raining because we have Penske and Conrad on the soft compound tyres, but we will see. Maybe they're trying to do something a little bit different if the rain does actually come. 5 minutes now left in the session. We got Jetson coming through. Maggins and Beckett looks to be on a in lap. Neon is coming into the pits, and it looks like everyone else is into the pits. So just looking at the rest of the standings for this tier, as if they actually load up for me, just bear with me for 2 seconds. Yes, here we go. So Jetson is in P4 with only 68 points. That's 70 points off New Zealand 1. So that's a massive gap between P4 and P1, and that's actually 59 points between Jetson and Warden. So I mean, it looks to be a 3-way fight for the championship here in SRL for the APAC tier. Last race was in Austria, and I think it was raining as well as Canada. So 2 times in a row it's been raining. I don't think it's going to rain today, but like I said, we will see later as V-Fence has actually left the session. There, Fence? Fence, okay, we do have some technical issues, but I'll just try and commentate by myself. No, yeah, you've left. You've left.
I don't know what just happened there. That's actually really weird.
Okay, I will. Hopefully, someone will try and invite you back because I can't. But anyway, Timo Marduk is now coming through the final corner, and it looks like he's going to start his flying lap with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the session. Coming through Abbey now, the first corner, flat out as always. And you can see in the bottom right of your screen, he hasn't got a lot of fuel on board. He's only got 1.5 laps of fuel in max fuel mixture. So he is really pushing this lap. This will have to be his fastest lap if he wants to try and get pole position today. And it looks to be a pretty good one from him so far as he comes to turn 5, opening up the DRS as he comes into Brooklands now. Brake just before the 50-meter marker and taking it in 4th gear before coming into Luffield now, the 7th corner here at Silverstone, taking it in 3rd gear before short shifting up into 4th. He does as he comes through Woodcote now, turn 8 onto the national pit straight as he just keeps the throttle down towards Cops. Now full out flat right hand there, clipping the curb on the outside that was before turning in into the iconic Maggins and Beckett's corner, turn 11, 12 and into turn 13 now as he comes into Chapel, really clip that curb there just to get the best exit, opens up the DRS, and he looks to be on an absolute flyer. Does the Ferrari driver look to be so far as the yellow flag in sector 1, and as it actually disappears, and it brakes just when the curb starts into 6th gear, just a little bit wide there, but I don't think that will harm his one so much. Into turn 16 now of Vale, into 17 of Club, and into the final corner now for turn 18. coming across the line now. What can Team Arctic set? It's only P2, really close between himself and Dominator there. 127.124 with Dominator saying a 127.112. So that is all Team Arctic can do today as he breaks the brake marker there.
Charlie, also I got a message from Dominator saying that there is no rain for the race. Can I ask, is there a formation lap on?
I have no idea if there is a formation lap on, but yeah, have you got an invite back?
No, I'll just message Warren, you keep on going.
Okay. Anyway, HO is currently singing P4 now. Pretty good start from the Red Bull driver, but as he comes through Cops now, which is turn 9 into Maggott and Beckett as well, so looks to be everyone's doing a pretty good lap so far, but Dominator is the one who has got the best lap time, 127.1, but I think Pole will be a high 26, I think it will be. I saw some guys doing practice lobbies with 26s, I think it was, coming into Stone. Now it goes really wide there, does HO, as Dominator improves even more. 127.0, great lap time from him. He extends his provisional pole time as that is the end of his qualifying session. HO, can he beat the time? Yes he can, a 126.864. He puts his Red Bull on pole position here at Silverstone. Absolutely beastly lap time. I don't think anyone can improve on that. We will see New Zealand Ryan up to the line. He is going to start. Hopefully he will think the pole position lap time we will see at the end of qualifying. DRC Jarrad is also going to start his lap time as Warden is getting ready. Anyone else coming towards the line now? HO's retired from the session because that is basically, that is so fast from HO. That is an absolutely amazing lap time. So we're going to see if anyone can improve with that. Penske is coming through Sector 2 now on the super softs this time. He was starting on the softs, but he has changed his mind. Warden is coming through turn 3 and turn 4 of Arena. Neon Tree Dome is coming into Stowe now of turn 15, taking it 5th gear. Really trying to put the power on, goes a little bit wide. A lot of these drivers going wide at the exit of Stowe, coming into Vale and into turn 17 of Club. Now through the final corner for the other Red Bull driver, Neon Tree Dome, up to the line, and he cannot improve in his lap time, only marginally slower than his last lap time. Now, anyone else coming to the line? Exodona is coming through Stowe as well, taking it in 5th gear. Oh, that's very wide from Exodona. I think he will have to back off that lap time, but New Zealand Ryan has retired from the session there, so he will start from P4 unless Warden can improve on his lap time. The checker flag has dropped and Exodona up to the line now, and he does not improve his lap time, 1/10 slower. So Warden coming onto the national pit straight as he opens up the DRS. I'm not sure if his lap time has been invalidated, but there is a car in front of him. That is DRC Jarrad. He's actually getting in the way there of Warden. That has really put Warden off there. I think Jarrad's actually already retired from the session, so that might not be entirely his fault, but he needs to be a lot more careful when he does press that retire button. But Warden comes through the final corner now. Can he improve in his lap time? He can by 2/10, but only moves him up by one more position, 27.5 I think it was, and that is the end of qualifying. So I'm not sure if Jarrad will be taken to the stewards for that incident, but that was quite a dodgy move from him. But that is your qualifying grid. So we've got HO on pole position in the Red Bull car, 26.8, 1/10 faster than Dominator in the Renault. Team Armada will start in P3 with his championship rival New Zealand Ryan in P4. Warden will start in P5. DRC Jarrad will be in P6. Owens in P7. Palms for the win in P8. Neon Trido in P9. Roscoe Arm in P10. Jetson in P11. Vex Stoner P12. Mitchie, Conrad Strait, Penske, Is That Matt, and Zombie Hunter rounds off your grid for qualifying. So this is actually going to be quite interesting on strategy here, because obviously the bottom 11 get to pick what tyres they're going to go on. But anyway, you can see it is a dry race, like Fens told me earlier. Have you got in the lobby yet?
No, I just sent Warden a message and she said that he finished his lap. So if there is a formation lap, he may invite me during that. If not, then I'll probably just have to leave the party.
Yeah.
The one time it
now as everyone starts to select their strategies, but the undercut round here is quite strong. You can pit earlier and easily take those tyres to the end with the soft compound tyres, because tyre wear isn't that bad round here.
I got invited
to has readied up.
Oh.
I have no idea. Okay, so VFans has left, so looks like I will be commentating by myself today. But anyway, we have got 10 seconds left until the lights will go out. I'm not sure if there's a formation lap. I don't think there is. But we're going to get this British Grand Prix as the drivers are looking to the 5 red lights here in Silverstone. And it's lights out and away we go on board with HO, the pole position driver, as everyone plows into turn 1 now. Tim Warnock is trying to get his way up the field. In turn 3, there's been a massive collision there. That is Dominator, who has spun from starting P2. He is retired from the session, and that is his race over. HO loses the back end ever so slightly. Back down the order, there's a Haas who's actually got off their contact between... No, I don't think it was contact with HO, sorry. Who's losing the back end ever so slightly. But Tim Warnock right in the slipstream now of HO. Is he going to pull to the inside? He's thinking about it. Into this corner now. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he's not. But that is... quite a chaotic start. Dominator is already out of the race. Down the order, New Zealand Ryan has got himself up into P3 with DLC Jamming in P4, losing the back end. Does the Mercedes driver. Warden is still in P5 with Owens. He's got himself up into P6. Now all of these drivers going into Cops now. Is it going to be Flato? It doesn't look like it does. Pomps the winners trying to go down the inside of Owens into Cops, but didn't look like that was going to work. Now into Maggots and Beckett's now. Who is going to be the bravest to take it flat out? It doesn't look like Jarrad is. Jarrad's actually lost the back end. Back up the order. There's chaos up there. Tim Warnock has gone very wide there, and he's actually lost a bunch of positions, losing it to Pomps the win. Owens, Jarrad, Warden. He is down into P7. What a chaotic start this is to the British Grand Prix. Going into Stowe now. HO still leads the field. New Zealand Ryan now is in second position. Loads of cars go wide at Stowe. Into Vale now, into Club. DLC Jarrad is trying to make a move on Warden. He's trying to go down the inside into the final corner as HO starts the final lap. No, not final lap, the final, no, the second lap, sorry. But DLC Jarrad trying to go side by side with Warden. Warden goes really wide there. He pushes, trying to leave Jarrad a little bit of space, squeezing him, and then they make contact. Is Owens going to pick up the pieces here? It doesn't look like he is. Warden still trying to make a move on Jarrad. Still side by side between these guys into turn 4 now. Turn 5 of Arena. DRS is not enabled just yet, but they're still side by side between these guys on the first DRS straight into Brooklands now, into turn 6, now into turn 7 of Luffield. Warden has got the move, but it's not over just yet. Jarrad makes a little bit of contact with Warden on that gearbox. He's loses the back end again, so it looks to be like he has quite lost a bit of tyre wear there, but that is a really, really chaotic start. Tim Warnock has lost a bit of his front wing, I believe. Yes, that is on the right-hand side. Yes, he has to take it in 6th gear through Cobbs. He is really, really struggling here. Exodona is trying to make a move on the Williams driver. No, but Penske actually gets his way up the field. He's in P8. Penske on the back of Tim Warnock now. As I already said, Tim Warnock has got front wing damage, but no DRS just yet. Now, he is going to put it in Rich. Yes, he does. He might make the move stick on Tim Warnock because he has got a broken front wing into Stone now. He's actually going to back off just a little bit there. DLC Jarrad is currently in P4 as he has lost the position to Warden. Going back down the order, we have got Roscoe Arm going side by side with the Renault of Exodona into Club now into the final corner. HO is still leading the field here as they make contact. McLaren and the Renault driver into the first corner. Now who's going to back off? It looks like the Renault is still trying to go for it here side by side, and it looks like the Renault is trying to go around the outside of Exodona into turn 4 now of Arena, into turn 5. They're still side by side between these guys into turn 6. No, that's turn 5, sorry, as they're on lap 3 on the DRS straight, but DRS is not active just yet. Into Brooklands now of turn 6, as it looks like they're still going side by side. I'm really struggling to keep up with this as he comes through turn 7 now of Luffield, and that is Bosco on to P9 now. Back up the order. Team Warnock 2.6 seconds behind Pomps for the win, who is behind Owens, about 5 tenths behind him, as Exodona and Roscoe Arm are still battling here. Exodona still in P9. As we're going back up the order now, just to calm things down a little bit now. New Zealand Line is in P2, 1.2 seconds behind HO, the Red Bull driver. But it has been a very, very action-packed start here in Silverstone. Lap 3 out of 26 now. Jarrad is trying to get back up to Warden to try and make the move on him. Penske is trying to catch up with Timo Mardik as he looks to be cruising right now as Penske. He's really got the pace against Ben because he has got that front wing damage. Looking down the order, Mitchie is trying to make a move on Exodona through the final corner now of Club into turn 18. Now they're all going into turn 1 now, still side by side between these guys. Who's going to back off? It looks like none of these guys back off. Exodona actually pushes him wide, and Neon Trino needs to be very careful with him there. I think Exodona's gone very wide. I don't know what, I think he's just gone well off the track there. He needs to be careful on his re-entry as we're going back on board with Exodona, as he is losing positions and positions everywhere. But Exodona is actually being pressurized by the Mercedes of Jetson F1. He has got himself up into P13 after starting from P11. His next opponent is Mitchie and Conrad Strait, as Mitchie actually goes quite wide there. Jetson's trying to put his car into the mix, going into Luffield now. They're still going side by side, a lot of side by side action here at the start of the Silverstone Grand Prix, as Jetson has got himself up into P12. Now Conrad Strait is the next car that he has to get past, and he gets a lot of dirty air going really wide at the end of Cox, now coming back into Beckett's, as Jetson is on the soft compound tyres, so he is going to be a little bit slower compared to these guys, as Penske has got himself up into P7, but it doesn't look like he's going to be over just yet. Timo Mardik is still trying to gain on Penske, but I think, yeah, Penske has got himself a little bit of a gap now to Timo Mardik, as Timo Mardik actually pits from P8 of this Grand Prix into the pits now, as he's got a 5-second stop-go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. What a real shame from Ben there. He has got an awful start, front wing damage. He should be able to take soft to the end. I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at what tyres he goes on to. Conrad Strait, I've realised, is on the medium tyres, as Jetson is trying to get himself past Exodona, as Timo Mardik is onto the medium compound tyres, so he'll definitely be taking those to the end. Mitchie has got lost a position to Jetson, so Jetson back up to where he started in qualifying, as Conrad Strait looks to be going quite slowly. He is on the medium, so he will definitely be slower, but DRS active for Jetson on this straight now, as they're about to come into Brooklands here into turn 6. Jetson goes down the inside of the Toro Rosso driver, and he makes himself have a position of P10. That's 1 point to his name if he keeps that position going, so he's going to be trying to catch up to Neon Tridome, who is currently in P9. So lap 5 out of 26 now. Warden's got a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, so he needs to start being careful of those warnings, because they can mean everything at the end of this race. So let's quickly go through the order for you guys. So we have got HO currently leading the British Grand Prix, 2.1 seconds ahead of New Zealand. Ryan Warden is in P3 with DLC Jarrett in P4. Owens is in P5 with Promise for the win in P6. Zombie Hunter's trying to go for a move here on the Toro Rosso driver of Zombie. No, that's Conrad Strait, sorry. Coming into Vale now, as it looks like Zombie Hunter's trying to go around the outside. He needs to leave a bit of room to the Toro Rosso driver, because the Ferrari is still on the inside coming into the final corner now as they start their lap 6. So Promise the win is in P6 right now. Penske in P7. Great start from him. Roscoe Arm in P8. Neon Tridome in P9. Jetson F1 in P10. Conrad Strait is in P11, as he might actually lose P11 here, because Zombie Hunter is really looking threatening there. Sorry, I accidentally paused there for some reason, because I was in absolute shock. And Venom just went from absolutely nowhere there. That's Exodona. He took P12 off him. Zombie Hunter is in P13 now, so Conrad Strait will try and pull a gap now, as those guys were battling, going back up the order. Neon Tridome is trying to gain back on Roscoe Arm, the McLaren driver, as they're coming onto the national pit straight. But at this moment in time, New Zealand Ryan will lead the championship by a lot more points here. I think it will be... Oh, I can't do maths, I'm very sorry. But yeah, he will be quite ahead of Timo Mardik, as it doesn't look like Ben will score points here, unless... he could score points, actually, because some... But all of the guys, sorry, will have to pit. So we'll see what he does when the pit time comes. But anyway, Roscoe Arm is still in P8 with Neon Tridome trying to catch him. But it doesn't look like these guys are going to battle anytime soon, because Roscoe Arm looks to be going quite strong through Stowe. Yeah, Stowe. But anyway, back up the order. DLC Jarrett is trying to make a move on Warden here. They're trying to go... They're about to go side by side. Warden puts his car in the middle of the track to try and avoid any attack from DLC Jarrett into turn 4 now and going into turn 5 now. Jared has got the DRS in as he's got rich mixture as well. Exodona with a 3-second time penalty. Warden trying to break that slipstream there because it is very effective in a straight line, as that is Jared still holding P4 here, but it looks to be that Warden is struggling quite a lot as they come through Luffield into Woodcote now, as Warden's still holding that P3 spot. So it's currently a Force India 2-3 from New Zealand wide, and Warden as they come through Cops now. Jared taking it in 7th gear, so he feels like shifting it down to 7th. It is faster to keep it in 8th and just lifting a little bit there. Coming into Mackins and Becker's turn 11, 12 into 13 now, into 14 to Chapel. It looks like Jared's got a better run compared to Warden. Is he going to put it in Rich? He certainly is. Warden trying to break the slipstream there, just trying to not make him get straight faster in a straight line, but into Stone now, and it looks like Warden still keeps that P3, so that's definitely going to be a battle, as there is yellow flag in sector 2, and that is Zombie Hunter, who has spotted at Maggett and Beckett. I don't know what happened there. There might have been contact between the back markers, but yeah, I didn't actually catch on board with that. Team Armada currently holding last place on the medium tyres, 22.6 seconds behind his teammate, who actually just spun. But Jared is trying to again make a move on Warden. But Warden's defending quite well here. I mean, Jared's not, at this point, doesn't look to be a lot quicker than Warden, because yeah, it just doesn't seem like he can go side by side with him just yet as they come into Brooklands now. But yeah, it has kind of calmed down from the start of the race, because there was a ton of action between these guys. Jesse Jared is starting to fall a little bit behind Warden now, as they're on the National Pit Straight coming into Woodcote. Now it's a battle here for P9 and P10. Jetson is trying to make a move on Neon Tree Dome. He has caught up, and look at all these cars in front of him here. Jetson could actually overtake all these guys and put himself in a really good points playing position. Surely not. He's surely not going to go side by side into Cops. Oh, he's actually lost a bit of his front wing, I believe that is, as Jetson. He hit the back of Neon Tree Dome there. Really unfortunate. I just need to confirm that he has got front wing damage. I can't really tell. I think he has got front wing damage on his left. You can see he's really struggling. Neon's actually pulled off, as that Matt gets a 3-second time penalty. The corner cutting. Neon Tree Dome is now in the slipstream of Roscoe Arm, as he actually, yeah, Neon made contact with, oh, that's Roscoe Arm who actually hits the back of Penske, I believe that is. But yeah, Jetson's, yeah, you can see Jetson is now into the pit after starting on the soft compound tyres. His strategy is really not paid off here. Side by side between Roscoe Arm and Neon Tree Dome there, as he's losing the back end quite a lot, is that McLaren driver. So I think it looks like it's time for most of these drivers to pit now. Penske has got a pit window of lap 12. Lap 12? Yeah, lap 12 to 16, whereas the rest have like lap 9 to 10. Yeah, it looks like lap 9, lap 10-ish, these guys will pit, but we will see how the undercut pays off. But Jetson is onto the medium compound tyres up, because he will have to go onto the mediums, or he'll have to go on the super softs, because he can't take another set of softs. Otherwise, he will get disqualified for not using the correct compound of tyres. Tim Marduk has got himself up into P14 now, so he's trying to make another recovery drive. Neon Tree Dome is losing a bit of time to Roscoe Arm, so Exodona's got himself up into P10 now. DLC Jarrad is losing a little bit more time to Warden as they come through Beckett now. Yeah, you can see Warden's actually got about 4 or 5 tenths between those guys, but it's certainly not over. Someone might try and do the undercut. We'll have a look at what these guys do. New Zealand Ryan into the pits now. Is Jarrad going to follow him? No, he's not. So that is New Zealand Ryan doing the first pit stop for the front runners, as that Exodona, who's lost the back end through Mackett and Beckett, as he will have to limp his way back into the race there. Palms to the win. Also into the pit lane now on board with New Zealand Ryan. He is getting the soft compound tyres put on as on board with Palms to the win. He comes into the pits now as Exodona's actually left the session. That might be lag, but Palms to the win onto the medium compound tyres, which is very surprising there, because I'm sure you can easily take the soft compound tyres to the end, but it is his choice. Not very sure about that strategy, but New Zealand Ryan's coming out of the pits now in P9. He has got a bit of traffic in front of him of Conrod Straight, and is that Matt, so he'll have to pass them very quickly if he wants to make that undercut work. DRC Jarrad is still holding P3 now, still behind Warden 99 as he is starting to gain a little bit of time on him. Now HO, is he going to pit from the lead of the race? I believe he will have to try and block the undercut. There's HO losing the back end a lot there. So it looks like his tyres are really starting to fall off the cliff as they're coming into Stowe now. Is HO going to come into the pits? New Zealand Wine's got himself up into P8, so he has to really start to push as HO is into the pits to block the undercut. Now I will not be surprised if Warden and DRC Jarrad will follow him, because the undercut is quite strong. New Zealand Wine coming through Magnus Beckett. He has got a McLaren driver with that man in front of him, so New Zealand Wine really needs to get past him as soon as possible if he wants to make the undercut work. But HO, DRC Jarrad, Owens, they're all into the pits now as Penske comes through Stowe. New Zealand Wine's trying to go around the outside of that Matt, and he makes the move stick, so he has got ahead of the traffic, but is he going to get ahead of HO? We'll find out. New Zealand Wine coming through club now as HO's put on the softs, Warden's put on the softs, Jarrad's put on the softs as well. Owen into the pits, he is onto the softs. Where's HO? HO's coming out of the pits now. New Zealand Wine is coming through turn 1. This is going to be really close between these guys. New Zealand Wine is coming through turn 1 now as HO's only just ahead of the Force India driver, but Wine is on much warmer tyres compared to HO, so he might be able to put on the battle here in the next few laps. Conrad Straight is in P4 on the medium compound tyres. He will have to pit soon. DRC Jarrad has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings of corner cutting, so he will need to be careful with that. But Jarrad's actually got ahead of Warden in the pits. I didn't actually see that one coming, but yeah, Warden will have to start to catch up to Jarrad if he wants to keep that position. I believe these guys both have time penalties, so I think they're both even, so they will have to carry on with those time penalties. But I mean, if anyone catches up to them, they will have to start pulling a 3-second gap unless they do have time penalties themselves. New Zealand Wine coming through Maggins and Beckett's now as he looks to be gaining quite a lot on HO. He has got DRS, who he is in the DRS range, is the Force India driver. He's going to start gaining in a straight line with drag reduction system. Flap is open as they're coming into Stowe now, as the flap actually shuts because it is because they brake. Coming into Vale into turn 16 now. New Zealand Wine just brakes a little bit later compared to HO, but it looks like HO is keeping the gap consistent as Ryan actually sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 129.991. We'll see what HO does on the next lap. As yes, that is a corner cut from New Zealand Wine, 3-second time penalty for corner cut, and as HO hasn't got a time penalty yet, so HO just has to keep a 3-second gap and try not to corner cut if he wants to get himself that 25 points. Is that Matt is starting to lag quite a lot on my screen. I'm not sure if it's the same on board with Conrad Stray. He has got DOS, but I don't think he will start making a move on Matt anytime soon, because he is on the mediums and they are slower compared to the soft compound tyres. But going back down the order, Tim Mardick has got himself up into P10 now, 1.8 seconds behind the car ahead of him, which is Poms with the win. Also on the medium compound tyres, Poms has got Owens in front of him in the Haas, Zombie Hunter as well, so Poms will have to start pushing if he wants to get ahead of those guys, because Tim Mardick is really pushing as well. Conrad Strait has actually gained quite a bit of time on Is That Matt, so maybe Matt's tyres have started to fall off a little bit here, so yeah, we'll have a look and see what his strategy will be. You can see, yes, it is lap 12 to lap 16 that his strategy call is to pit. So if he pits on lap 16, he might be able to take super softs to the end of the race. We will see. As he is carrying on back down the order, Owens and Zombie Hunter are battling, as Owens has actually got himself up into P7. New Zealand Ryan 29.948, so he is improving as Zombie Hunter actually pits from P8, so that puts Poms to the win up into P19 and Mardick up into P10. Ryan 2/10 behind HO, so looks like HO is going a little bit slower than Ryan, but I mean, it all depends on the battling. Is HO going to defend really well here to keep New Zealand Ryan behind? We will see in the next few laps. New Zealand Ryan in the rich mixture, and he's starting to gain on him, but it's not getting that much because HO looks to be going quite strong. Maybe HO's got low downforce, high downforce. I can't tell. with their setups. They haven't told me their setups, obviously, because I'm not racing. But New Zealand Ryan coming into Stone now. You can see he takes a flat out now, so I guess all these drivers can take a flat out. Let me just check with Matt as they come through Stone now. Matt does a little bit of a lift, but is very, very marginally there, so you can see the time has come to try and take a flat into into Cop, sorry, and gain quite a bit of time. New Zealand Ryan in the slipstream. Rich Mixture gaining on HO into Stone now. Ryan still keeps that P2, but it looks like HO is quite vulnerable right now. He hasn't got that DRS that is quite powerful in this 2017 game, but we will see what does happen as they come through the final corner now, as they start lap 14 out of 26. We are more than halfway, sorry, through this British Grand Prix. As I'm going to quickly look at the let's have a look at the position changes. So we have got HO, who started from pole position and still in first place. New Zealand Ryan, he did start P4, is in P2 right now. Is that Matt up 13 positions, but he has not pitted, I believe it. He has not pitted, so we'll have to pit very shortly. And New Zealand Ryan a lot closer compared to last time on HO, about 3 to 2/10 separate these guys as they come through Luffield. Now on board with Warden, he's lost quite a bit of time he's lost a lot of time to Jawad, but Jawad's now stuck behind Matt. So Warden needs to start pushing right now if he wants to start getting on them, because Jawad will be held a little bit longer. Yellow flags in sector 1. I can't tell who that is, but Ryan is actually no, Jawad's actually got down the inside of Matt into Cops there, so that was quite a good move from him. Warden has gained a little bit of time on Jawad, so that might have helped him a little bit. If Matt does pit at the end of this lap, it will help him a lot, but DRS is in Warden's favour as well, so he's going to be gaining a lot in a straight line. Back on board with New Zealand Ryan, lost a little bit of time on HO in the sector 2 and 3 sections of lap 14, going on to lap 15 now. So 12 laps remaining of this British Grand Prix, as Matt actually let Warden through there. I think that might have happened with Jared as well, so yeah, not that much time lost, but Warden now 1.4 seconds behind Jared. Back down the order a little bit now. Conrad Strait has come into the pits, promised the win, has got himself up to P7. Timo Mardik has got himself up into P8, so he needs to start pushing if he wants to try and get himself back up the order. Now, back on New Zealand Ryan, he is still behind HO here, but HO's doing a really good job on keeping the championship leader behind him. This will give him very good points for his championship with HO, but New Zealand Ryan is going to gain so much points on Timo Mardik, as they haven't got a lot of points separating these guys, but yeah, it will affect him quite a lot. Timo Mardik is trying to go down the inside of Poms for the win into Luffield they go now, and it looks like Ben's got the pace over Poms for the win. Both of these guys are the medians. Poms should be on the softs in my opinion, but yeah, like I said, it is his choice coming into Stone now. Ben does take it in 7th because of the dirt that he's got from Poms for the win. Now into Maggett and Beckett's now for hit the battle for P7 between the Williams and the Ferrari, driving to Beckett's now into turn 13, into Chapel for turn 14, as there is the DRS zone on for Timo Mardik, as he looks to be gaining quite a lot on Poms for the win. HO has hit the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 129.9, as Ben goes for a dive bomb there on Poms for the win, side by side between these guys. Into Stone, now into Bale. It looks like Timo Mardik's actually got the move done. No, he hasn't, because Poms for the win is still trying to keep that position, but Timo Mardik has got the job done into the final corner. Timo Mardik up into P7, make that P6 as Istat Matt is into the pits now. So great move from Ben. He is trying to get himself back up to the order to try and redeem himself after his start of this British Grand Prix. I think, I can't tell who he made contact with. I think he was at Maggett and Beckett's where they made contact. So yeah, the stewards might have to review that incident if it does get viewed. New Zealand Ryan is losing time to HO now, so HO's trying to pull the gap, but through Cops it looks like Ryan gets a very good run compared to him. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Ryan is starting to fall back a little bit, back down the order. Poms is 7/10 behind Timo Mardik now, but Zombie Hunter, his teammate, is actually in P12 trying to gain on Mitchie. There might be a battle between these guys. It looks like there will be as they're coming into Luffield now. Bosco Arm has left the session. Not sure if that was just because of range lag. I'm not that sure. Zombie Hunter is trying to go side by side with Mitchie as they come through the National Pit Straight. It looks like Mitchie let him through there as they come through Cops as yeah, Zombie Hunter is up into P11. Back up the order. New Zealand Ryan's got himself back into the battle here for P1. 2/10 about separates these guys as they come through turn 5, and Ryan is still in that DRS range, so he is really trying to get back into this battle, but it going into turn 6 now, into turn 7 of Luffield. It is looking quite close between these guys. It looks to be like HO pulls the gap, then Ryan pulls it back. Ryan tries to get closer, then HO just pulls the gap. It is very close between the P1 and P2 position for the full 25 points for this race. New Zealand Ryan going a little bit wide there, Cops, but I don't think he would have got a warning for that because it is quite leaning when you go wide at Cops. But anyway, New Zealand Ryan gaining quite a little bit of time on HO through Magnus and Beckett's in the DRS again, but Ryan has got a lot of fuel to burn, but HO hasn't. HO's only got about 20 laps of fuel on board. No, not 20 laps, plus 0.28 laps of fuel on board. So I mean, it is quite a big difference because Ryan, sorry, has got a 1 lap plus 1 lap laps of fuel on board. So I mean, yeah, it is quite a big difference. So Ryan can keep it in rich, whereas HO will have to try and manage the fuel. So yeah, I mean, it's going to get quite close at the end of the race. Whose tyres is going to be in the best condition? Ryan did pit 1 lap earlier, bear in mind, so it will be on Ryan's side for the tyre wear, but again, it's not going to be that bad because HO is, I mean, HO only pitted on lap 10, I believe it is, 10 or 11, so yeah, the tyre wear won't be as shocking as you would think it will be. But going down the order, it looks like most of the gaps have started to form. Ben's trying to gain on Owens, who is on the soft compound tyres. Has he pitted? He has pitted, so this is for position, the battle for P5 and P6, but we will see how that battle turns out. The closest battle we have got is the battle for P1 currently, but I'm going to quickly go through the penalties for you guys so we do not make any mistakes when we come through the finish line. So HO has got 2 warnings, whereas New Zealand Ryan has got 1 penalty, so that's 3 seconds added to his name. Jawad has got 1 penalty as well. Warden's got 1 penalty. Owens has got no warnings. Tim Marduk has got a stop-go speeding in the pit lane and a warning, so he's already served that stop-go. Pomps the Win has got a penalty as well, so HO currently has got 1 more warning and then he'll get a time penalty. So if HO doesn't do that, then there will be a 3-second gap that he will have on New Zealand Ryan, because Ryan has got a 3-second time penalty. So let's have a look down the order. Warden goes a little bit wide there as he actually goes, oh no way, he gets a 3-second time penalty for that. He might get that removed, I'm not sure, but anyway, New Zealand Ryan is still on the back of HO. 3/10 is the difference as they have got DRS. No, Ryan's got DRS, not they have DRS. Jarrad is 12.1 seconds behind New Zealand Ryan as they come into Brooklands now, into Luffield, as HO goes a little bit wide there. Ryan hugs the inside, but it looks like HO is still going to hold that P1. Back down the order, Zombie Hunter is trying to gain back on Penske, who has had a good race right now, P10, but he might lose it to P11, but hopefully Penske will try and defend with all his skill. I think skill is the right word. We'll stay on board with this battle for a while, because it looks like Zombie Hunter is on the super softs, so he will start to gain on New Zealand Ryan, Penske, as Penske tries to break the slipstream, but he has got a lap car of Exodona. I think, no, he didn't get a DOS of Exodona, but yeah, you can see the amount of grip that Zombie Hunter's got compared to Penske as they come through Luffield now. through the X. You can see Zombie Hunter's right on the back of Penske here, coming onto the National Pit Straight. Is Zombie Hunter can go for it? Yes, he is. He's trying to go round the outside into Stowe the Battle for the only points playing position for P10, 1 point. And it looks like Penske pushes Zombie Hunter a little bit wide there, so that is Zombie still holding P11 as they come through. Magnus and Beckett. Now Zombie Hunter losing the back end as he gets a 3-second time penalty for that. As that was, oh, they actually got very wide there, as that should be, I think that'll be another warning added to this game. So Zombie Hunter falling back behind the Williams driver of Penske. Now New Zealand Ryan 6 tenths behind HO as they're coming into Luffield. Now the British Grand Prix is about to come to the end for the SRL APAC tier. Who has been your driver of the day, guys? Put it in the chat. My driver of the day will have to go for... let me just check the position change. It'll go for... I'm going to give it to... it is quite a hard choice. Loads of these drivers have done really well. I'm going to give it to DLC Jarrad. He's got himself from P6 up into P3, but again, it's not over just yet, so things can change with 6 laps remaining as Jarrad comes through Maggots and Beckett's now and Chapel, as he has lost quite a bit of time to run now. He's lost about 3 seconds in the past 5-6 laps, I believe it is, as Ryan's got himself to a gap of 1 second behind HO. So it looks like HO is going to pull away and take home this victory unless something happens. Ryan is going to try and keep pushing, as yeah, HO actually has to save fuel a little bit. So yeah, it's going to be quite hard for HO to try and keep Ryan behind if Ryan does put it into Rich. So let's keep going back down the order. We've got Roscoe Arm, who, yeah, the Bomb 2 are actually in AI mode. I think they've left the session, so we've basically got 14 drivers remaining. So let's just quickly go through the order for you guys. So we have got HO, who is leading the field here, lap 21 out of 26. He will take this win if things stay the way they are. New Zealand Ryan in P2, as he's lost a bit of time to HO, so Ryan needs to start pushing. Jesse Jarrad will finish the podium if things stay the way they are. Warden will be in P4. Owens is in P5, and now Team Maradek is in P6 on the back of Owens. So that is a battle that is going to unfold very shortly. Promise of the Win is in P7. Neon Treedome in P8. Jetson P9. Penske currently holding P10. Mitchie in P11. Conrad Strait in P12. Is that Matt P13. Zombie Hunter P14. Roscoe Arm and Exodona P15-16, both in AR mode, and Dominator, who retired from the session on lap 1 coming through turn 2, I believe it was. Really, really unfortunate from him, but yeah, I think hopefully he'll have a good race next week. But anyway, Ryan's got a 1.3 second gap between himself and HO now, so 5 laps remaining. Can he do anything to try and get himself past? HO will have to see, but you can see HO isn't lean, so he is trying to not run out of fuel. But Team Martin now in P6, right behind Owens on the soft compound tyres, coming through the final corner now. Team Martin is in Rich, whereas Owens is in standard, but Owens has got a lot more fuel compared to Team Martin, as Ben goes quite wide there, misses the apex into turn 1, into turn 3 now. And it looks like Ben's got a lot more momentum compared to Owens. He goes down the inside into turn 4 now, kind of squeezes the Haas driver, but they're still going side by side now. Owens has somehow kept himself in P5, but Team Martin has not had enough just yet. Owens is trying to got the inside, but Ben's already there coming into Brookings now. Ben breaks as late as possible, and that is him up into P5. Owens is still trying to make the move on Team Martin, goes wide and tries to get the best run on him, but it looks like Ben is going to hold on to P5, but then Owens has got a better run compared to him. Is he trying to go for it into Cobbs? He's thinking about it. He's close to the inside, but he has to short shift down into 7th. So that's Ben up into P5 now. He will take 10 points for his championship coming into Maggots and Beckett's now. So it has been quite a frustrating race from Ben, but he has done quite well to bring himself back up the order after starting P4, I believe it was. Let me just check. So P3, and then he got himself down to last, and then he's got himself back up to P5. It's quite a good recovery drive from himself as we start lap 23 out of 26 now. 1.6 seconds separates HO and New Zealand line. Now Jaran has just brought the gap a little bit closer, 12.8 seconds, but it's not going to be close enough to gain on Ryan to make a move. As Ben is actually 4.6 seconds behind Warden, but it's been a pleasure commentating this race for SRL APAC Tier 1. Unfortunately, I will not be commentating next week. This is only a one-off, but if I am free, hopefully I will get asked to commentate, because it has been a very fun race to commentate. Unfortunately, VFNs did lag out from the party at the start of the race. I think, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, Mitchie's got a 3-second time penalty. We'll see who commentates next week, but like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure as we are on lap 23 out of 26. HO coming through Stowe now. 1.9 seconds separates these guys. HO's had an awesome race right now, so he's just absolutely mastered this race. No penalties as Zombie Hunter has the fastest lap with 29.1 only. He's only just ahead of HO, so he might have to let him through if he does start getting on in, but I don't think he will, because you can see he just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Mitchie is on the back of Penske, so Penske's got another person to try and defend from P10, the 1 point that he would want in this championship, as he goes very wide. As Mitchie there, very wide. Does the hash driver go into the Maggots and Veggets section, as yeah, it looks like Penske is just holding the position for now, but he has got 3 more laps to defend the position, because Mitchie has got DRS, so he will start gaining on him in a straight line. But will it be enough for him to get himself into the point positions? It doesn't look like he'll do it on this lap, unless he does go for a dive bomb, as he's thinking about it, but it's not going to be enough for him to make the move stick into the final corner. Now Penske goes really wide there on the exit. That's going to compromise his run coming into the first corner now as Mitchie, as it looks like Penske is struggling quite a bit here, as Penske is on the soft combat tyres. Maybe his tyre was a little bit hard done compared to Mitchie there, as Mitchie actually went for a dive bomb on Penske. I thought he was about to make contact there, but it looks like Mitchie just about backed off now onto the DRS straight, as Mitchie actually went AI for some reason. Is that AI? I don't actually know what happened there. He might have recorded that, but anyway, Mitchie is still trying to make the move on Penske as they come through Luffield now onto the national pit straight. He started to gain on him ever so slightly. He pulls to the inside, trying to make Penske feel a little bit afraid, because Mitchie is right in his mirrors, and Mitchie goes wide again, but not as wide as he did on lap 24. But coming into Maggots and Beckett's now, Mitchie actually cuts the corner. That's definitely going to be a warning added to his name, so he needs to try and calm down with the corner cutting as Penske comes through Chapel now. He doesn't get DRS, Mitchie does, as Penske trying to break the distance, trying to stay on the inside line coming into Stowe. Now is Mitchie going to go for a really brave move? He tries to, down the inside, but Penske blocks it off. So great defending from Penske so far, as Mitchie goes wide once again into Vale, into Club now at turn 16, 17, and going into turn 18 now. Matt gets another 3-second time penalty. Hornica and Jetson is now up into P9, trying to make his way past Neon Tree Dome in the Red Bull. Back to the battle with P10, as Mitchie probably just got another time penalty, but I'm not too certain as they come through turn 3 now. Mitchie is really trying to force Penske into a mistake, as he tries to go for the dive bomb there on the Williams. Contact between those guys, and the Thomas of Combat Straight's got an amazing one of these guys after they make contact. Combat Straight goes side by side with the Haas driver. Is he going to make a double overtake? He's thinking about it. He's trying to go around the outside into Brooklands. Now more contact between these guys as they're coming through Brooklands. Now who's going to come out on top? There's a Penske still trying to come out on top. Come on straight up into P11 now, as Mitchie is trying to make his way back up into P11 now. He has P11 for the Haas driver, as Matt is trying to catch up to these guys, but Common Straight has lost it to no, he actually came from P12, and he still is in P12 as Mitchie goes very wide there, as HO starts the final lap of this British Grand Prix. Jetson is still trying to gain on Neon Tudor as he goes very wide there. HO is coming through Luffield now to finish off this British Grand Prix. An amazing drive from him. Common Straight is going side by side with the Haas driver of Mitchie. What are these guys going to do? Into Stone now, looks like Conrad Strat has got himself up into P11 with Mitchie dropping back down into P12. Penske still holding onto that P10 for 1 point, but on board with HO. He's had an amazing race as the Red Bull drivers. HO gets a 3-second time penalty coming through Chapel for the final time. The Red Bull driver really showing what he can do here. Hopefully he can show this for the rest of the championship. He wants to tell everyone that he has got the pace to try and compete for the win of this championship as he comes through Stone now into Vale and into Club. HO is going to be your race winner as he comes through Vale and Club for the final time. The Red Bull driver, HO 56, comes through the final corner and wins the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. Fantastic drive from the Red Bull driver. New Zealand Ryan finishes in P2 as DLC Jarrad is coming through the final 3 corners to finish off this British Grand Prix. Comes to the final corner now as he finishes in P3. Warden is in P4, but going back down the order, Jetson is all over the back of Neon Treedome as they're coming onto the hanger straight now. Warden finishes in P14, Marnick around the final corner now as he finishes in P5. Whereas Jetson, he's trying to go down the inside of Neon Treedome. He's not giving up this position here. Jetson's trying to go around the outside into Club now. Well, who's going to come out? Simon goes side by side. Neon breaks a little bit late there. Jetson's trying to go around the outside contact between those guys into the final corner now. Neon will take P8 in this race with Jetson. No, Jetson actually takes P8 there as Neon Treedome has got penalties. Penske will come through Cops now, but it's not over. Conrad Straight will try and get this move down the inside. He goes on the Williams driver. Penske's got to cover it off as Conrad Straight gets a 3-second time penalty for that move. As Penske comes to the final corner now, he takes P10 in this British Grand Prix, and we will keep it with the penalties. Conrad Straight P11, Mitchie P12. Is that Matt will finish at P13 with Zombie Hunter. He's going to be the last person to cross the line, coming through Club now to the final corner as he finishes in P14. Great drive from all these drivers, and what an amazing race that was. As I will invite these guys in for interviews, so if you guys just bear with me, as you guys can look at the podium celebrations. Yep, congratulations to these drivers. As you can see, that is the Red Bull driver of HO who wins the British Grand Prix here in the SRL. New Zealand Ryan finishes in P2, DLC Jarrad in P3, Tim Marnick finishes in P4, Owens in P5, Esteban Ocon, who I believe is Warden, finishes in P6, Promise to win P7, Jetson P8, Neon Treedome in P9, and Penske rounds off your top 10 with the points. Conrad Straight in P11, HO... No, Mitchie, sorry, in P12. Is that Matt in P13, Zombie Hunter in P14, and the AI cars round off the rest of the grid. Now going to the podium interviews. Hello, please include your audio, lads. As given from all of you. So we'll start with HO. HO, great drive from you. Really showing the guys who that you've got the pace to win races just like this. What was that race like for you?
Incredible, but first off to just say sorry to, I think it was Ben and maybe someone else who made a mistake going through Meggetts and Beck. Yeah, that was not some of my finest driving, but the rest of the race was incredible. So pumped to finally get a win. It was close between me and Ryan. Oh.
Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, that lap one collision, I didn't actually catch what happened. I just saw Ben lose his front wing, and yeah, I didn't actually catch. Can you just describe to the viewers what happened?
Basically, I just lost into it and got oversteer, lift off oversteer going through the corners. Sort of slid the car offline, and Ben was trying to make advantage of that going around my outside, but in saving it I ended up running wide, and yeah.
That's quite unfortunate, but the next race is in Hungary, so what are your thoughts on that?
But I quite like it. I feel fairly strong there. But hopefully looking for a clean race or anything else, to be honest. I don't know how long it is, but it's been too long since I've had a clean first lap, regardless of whether or not it's my fault or someone else's. It's just been...
It was quite unfortunate with that lap 1 incident. But anyway, congratulations on that win. Now moving on to New Zealand, Ryan in P2. Good race, Ryan. Tried to catch up to HO at the end, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. So just describe that race.
I don't know. Congrats to HO. He had mega pace. Didn't think I was going to catch him. I was lucky that I was even close at one point, but yes, there was a bit of desync at the start, and I should count myself lucky, I guess, that I wasn't one of them that it's a bit early.
Yeah. Can you describe what happened from your point of view in the lap 1 incident?
It's turn 2, I think it was. HO's car just teleported to the right, and next thing Dominator's in the fence, and everyone was going on about it, and then it's Beckett's, I think it was, that did the same thing, and Ben got caught up with it. It was a bit of a shame.
Quite unfortunate, but you will extend the championship lead on Ben, but Hungara ring next. Thoughts on that track?
Yeah, I like it. It's a track. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll get a good result there. Moving on to DLC Jared, who finishes off the podium. Great drive from you, Jared, as well. You had a great battle with Warden during this British Grand Prix. Describe what happened.
Not a whole lot. Warden seemed to struggle at that track, whether he had damage or not, I'm not too sure. But jumped in the pit lane, and then I was able to pull away from there.
Yeah. Did you get caught up in the lap 1 incident as well, or?
No, I managed to luckily stay out of all that. But yeah, pretty messy.
Yeah. Yeah. What about Hungary? Is that a good track for you?
Well, I didn't think Britain was a good track for me, but yeah, Hungary's going to be interesting. I think I'm not very good there, so see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully you will get good results. But thank you all for joining me in the comment box. Thank you all for watching this British Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we friends lagged out from the party when we were about to start the race. But it's been a pleasure commentating for SRL, and hopefully I'll be asked to commentate when I'm available. But thank you all for watching. My name's been OR Charlie, and we'll see you all in Hungary. Goodbye.